Welcome back to the weekly news roundup. These are recorded live Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you would like to catch the show live, today we're covering business and silly news. First up in business, Waymo, UPS, and others are pressuring Governor Newsom in California to allow autonomous trucking in California. So basically there is a law that says that they can't run self-driving trucks. And these guys are all like, hey guys, we need to be able to push our trucks without having to pay these people money. We want to lay off all the truck drivers and have self-driving vehicles. And then, you know, the self-driving vehicle goes there and the store has an employee that empties the truck and the truck drives on back to the warehouse. All right. This to me, I would rather these companies not push this, because basically this is just contributing to the idea that, you know, more and more jobs are being lost more and more frequently. I know they're like, well, we can't find workers. Maybe pay them a little bit better. Maybe push back against some of the government policies that are causing problems. Maybe tell the brain dead fool in the White House to open the pipelines and start drilling oil again, and stop giving the oil companies concern about investing in the future of oil. What do you think? If we all jump on electric cars, the whole world's going to get better? I'm sorry, that's a pipe dream. Our power grid can't survive our air conditioners. You think they're going to survive everyone plugging in an electric car? Then that's one of the problems with a lot of truck drivers are leaving right now, because the gas is so high and many truck drivers have to pay for that. It's chopping up their business. But anyway, all these guys, 34 different autonomous vehicle developers, and these companies are saying, hey, you need to let us self-drive vehicles because, we need to have more power. We'll charge just as much money, and we just don't have to pay that worker. I think this is a bad thing. Obviously, there's some positives in theory. You know, if there is a big worker strike or an apocalypse or something, at least the trucks will be driving down the road, right? Will these trucks stop for the zombies on the road, or will they just plow into them? Can they detect the difference between a human and a zombie? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. That'd be fun. But anyway, they're just trying to change the law to allow these self-driving cars on the road. For you gamers and Nuc enthusiasts, apparently the next upcoming Nuc 12, this is a mini ARM-based, kind of like a micro PC that apparently has enough power to play AAA games. I didn't see in the article if you played AAA games well, but I did see in the article that it gave you the ability to play AAA games. So that's good. So this has to do with they have 12th gen Alder Lake CPU and the most recent Arc A7. I think I said they're ARM. I don't know if these are ARM. I'm not sure if they are. If anybody has one, can let me know in the comments, just based on the specs and stuff there. But this has to do with the new GPU that they're putting, and they're saying that in the tests, they can actually play some games. Not sure about well. I mean, I can do video, not video, but I can do like graphic editing on a Raspberry Pi. I just can't do it well. And that's kind of what the difference is there. So you guys, though, that have those, go ahead and look into those and see if that's good for you. Mozilla has some updates. First, they have a high security vulnerability that only affects the Linux version of Firefox. This allowed people to spoof a window, overmask the URL bar, and display a URL of their choice. The idea here, of course, is you hit some malware, it loads up some alternative page, but then it spoofs that by doing an overlay window on top of the URL bar on your computer that shows the legitimate site you think you're going to. Very ingenious thing, but they patched that one, so go ahead and use that. They also, though, released some new, very good tracking stuff. So this has to do with the variables that you might see inside of URLs. So some of the news and a lot of things in order to track the users and how effective are, if you grab the story original off of like Twitter and you share it, they see a source from Twitter. If you grab it directly from the website, you'll see it sourced from the website. They do this with PHP variables added to the URL string. So this new setting in Firefox will scrub all those URL variables out. Now, if a website is relying on URL variables for pushing things like a WordPress site that's not configured properly and is using PHP variables to load pages instead of running your htaccess and post names and things like that, if that's the case, you see, then it will break that website as well. That's not very common. The other thing that it may impact is if you are intending to use affiliate links, like we run affiliate links here. Oftentimes those affiliate links are done with PHP variables. So if you are wanting to support a specific creator intentionally with affiliate link, you might have to turn this setting off. And this is one of the items that's under the privacy and security. So you can go down to custom and choose whether to toggle that on or off. Overall, though, that's a really good thing. By default, it's going to scrub out a lot of the tracking on the web that is done by there, which, by the way, a VPN's not going to solve. A lot of other things aren't going to solve, but that one actually will. So that's actually a pretty cool thing. And last up today, FCC has closed the loophole that many robocallers use to evade blocking. So, of course, this deals with stir and shaken, and they push this out, and all the big carriers push this out, and it would appear that spam calls went up, not down. Well, that's because that all of these spam callers they're like, oh, well, we can't use the main carriers, so they're all using the smaller subsidiary carriers that have less than 100,000. Those guys all made a lot of money with the new accounts, of course. And with all that happening, the spam calls probably got worse, not better. But what they decided to do here is they changed their policies, and as of today, now even small carriers have to authenticate all calls. So this, in theory, should stop most of the robocalls starting like today, July 1st. So if you're still getting robocalls, let me know in the comments down below. I'm sure there's going to be some that are still getting through and stuff. I don't know. We'll see. I have not actually seen robocalls on my device in a little while. It's been a few months at least. But let me know in the comments down below if you're seeing the same thing or not. Well, we do use affiliates here to help support the channel. If you would like to check out our affiliate today, we're talking about Linode. Any good cloud hosting systems. I run my own VPN. I run my own Nextcloud server. I host some massive amount of client websites over on Linode using their cloud services. So if you are in need of cloud services, sign up tlm.li/Linode. That is going to give you $100 in credit, good for 60 days, and that will help support the channel. With that, let's head on over to SillyVille. First up in SillyVille, this coworker does not exist. The FBI is warning employers that deepfakes are interviewing for tech jobs. Okay, your first line is if they hacked your way onto the schedule. You guys ever see that joke? This guy sits in for the interview of the cybersecurity job opening. The CEO says, "Why should I hire you for this job?" He says, "Because I hacked your calendar and gave myself this appointment." Yeah, there you go. So anyway, that's happening. A lot of people worry about the prospect of competing with AI for their jobs. This isn't what they were expecting. FBI is warned of an uptick in cases where deepfakes and stolen personal information are being used to apply for jobs in the U.S., including faking video job interviews. The shift to remote work is great for a lot of people. Others had a lot of things. So yeah, this is kind of exciting. So somebody's like, hey, if you get hired for a new job you never applied to, go ahead and accept the job, I guess. The AI is getting it for you. All right, so I love the wording of the article here at the beginning. Apparently a rocket just hit the moon, and everyone's like, who did that? So I love this. You know you're living in the space age when a rocket hits the moon, and the industry as a whole points to the sky like an angry teacher holding up a paper airplane and asks, who launched this? Truly, that is what occurred this week as an unidentified rocket impacted the lunar surface, forming a new interesting crater, leaving us all wondering how it's possible not to know what happened. That's right. So you have a new crater on the moon thanks to an unknown rocket. It's just Elon Musk. Come on. We all know there was a body in that chunk. So anyway, that's what happened. Well, a mall down there in Delaware, Concord Mall in Delaware, unearthed an abandoned Burger King that nobody had seen in years. Apparently, there was some place in the mall. It closed down. They had blocked it up, basically locked the door, put up a wall there, and then forgot it was there. And a new company took it over, and they were doing things, and they handed the key out to somebody. They opened the door, and there's a whole Burger King in there. And so there were a lot of fun things in here. It's apparently one of Delaware's oldest malls, and it was unclear exactly how long it had been closed up because the people that own the mall now bought the mall in like 2020. Oh, was it 2020 or something? Okay, so the Burger King closed in 2009. So it is going to be now like 13, 14 years. It was been closed up and completely forgotten about. So caused actually a big Twitter storm. There's let's see what this Reddit thread has. Let's see if there's anything useful on any of these Reddit threads here. So there you go. How do you forget about a full restaurant being in there? There you go. There were a lot of Twitter posts. Oh, well, maybe another article. I think it was the Not the Bee article, which, by the way, somebody commented, why do you use the bee? It's satire. No. Not the Bee is not satire. Not the Bee is literally real news. It's crazy. It's done by the same company that does Babylon Bee, which is satire. So Babylon Bee is satire. Not the Bee is not satire. So for the person that commented, why do you use the bee? It's satire. No, it's not. Not the Bee is not satire. I think that they actually had a lot of Twitter posts. I saw this article a few different times. And finally, a city worker loses a USB stick containing data on every resident of his city after a day of drinking. So the city had 460,000 residents. The data on it includes, like, literally, what this is the water authority, as I understand. Why does the water authority need your name, your gender, your birthday, call me crazy, but the water authority does not need to know your birthday to deliver water to your house. They might need your name to know who to send the bill to. They need to know the address of the house. Outside of that, they don't need anything. But it also had bank account numbers, households receiving welfare on it, all sorts of fun things on this USB drive that was lost after the day went on a drunken spree. Of course, the USB drive they're saying is encrypted, so it's unclear if it was encrypted well. I mean, come on, do you really trust your local government to not use 12345 as the password? So basically, he loses the drive. It isn't allegedly encrypted. So assuming there's a good, strong password, the data should be mostly safe. But you never know, and don't put it past the government employees to encrypt it with 12345. I mean, it's the type of thing an idiot would have on their luggage, or the president of a stupid space empire. I don't know. But anyway, this guy did lose the USB drive full of all this because he went on a drunken binge. Well, if you'd like to help support the channel, we do have a Subscribe Star page. Jump on over to subscribestar.com/SwitchedToLinux to find us on over there. With that, thanks for watching, everybody, and we will see you next time. Thank you for watching this video from SwitchedToLinux. This channel would not be possible without the backing of the program supporters scrolling on the screen now. You can be a supporter at Patreon at patreon.com/TOMM. or at thinklifemedia.com. I also want to thank the open source community who creates such excellent software that makes producing this show possible. Please remember to support your software communities. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.